Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long before 1975, YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends, but Long Boys Bros 1975.
This is Space Harrier. I'm running it on my SEGA Astro City Mini. Obviously it was an arcade machine released by SEGA in 1985. One of the most famous arcade games of all time, and it's a super scaler. 1985 was the same year as Hang On. So am I right in thinking that these were the two sort of first super scaling games SEGA made? I know they were the two most successful arcade games of that year, or possibly 1986, and this was obviously developed by Yu Suzuki. It's got incredible music, absolutely iconic samples, speech and bosses that are just utterly fantastic. It's an on-rail shooter, and you will know all of this if you watch my channel or know anything about Space Harrier or are as old as me, because I love this game. I've played it on the Spectrum, Commodore, Game Gear. I've played it on the Master System 32X. I've played the arcade, and obviously since I'm working my way through, yeah I know, all the games on the Astro City Mini, I thought I'd have a go at doing this game in its entirety. Obviously I'm going to be using a shit ton of credits, because I'm not one of those people that can do this game on 1 credit. I probably couldn't do this game in real terms on about 15 quid. But anyway, so originally in the arcade there was a hydraulic cabinet with an analog flight stick. That's where I saw it. I saw it in Minehead, I saw it in Westwood Ho, and I saw it in Western Supermare, and like many people, especially as a young kid, it absolutely floored me. My parents would look at it and see it for what it was, which is an absolute 10p gobbler, but I would just look at it and just go, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And I died to play it at home, and eventually it got an amazing port on the ZX Spectrum, which I have a gameplay of, as I just mentioned. And obviously it was one of the main reasons behind me wanting a Master System. And if you watch my recent vlog on systems you were sad that they died, I go into why I love Sega arcade machines, and this is one of the games that I had to play. So let's get into it. You play Harrier, because originally the character of this was going to be somewhat a semi-realistic as an arcade machine. Flight, plane-based shoot 'em up, and then for whatever reason that was punching above the weight of the hardware, or so I think I've seen a video on, I don't know. So they changed you to a flying bloke, but kept the name Harrier, because let's be honest, Harrier is the greatest name for a person ever. Now I've said it before and I'll say it again. Don't worry, I'll get into this in a minute. Can he fly because he's a superhero? Can you fly, Bobby boy? Or is it, his gun? Because look, it's flashing and stuff like that. Plus he's got awesome boots. Just, I thought I'd put that out there. So there's 18 stages, 15 of which have bosses. Are the other ones bonus stages? I can't remember. And then there's a boss rush at the end. In the arcade, I don't think I ever got past the second stage. Right, the controls are reversed, because you can see that in the bottom right hand corner, and this is going to spoil us because I don't have to hammer like a mad bastard. It's actually got a turbo button. So let's get into it. Am I right in thinking then that this possibly is the most famous of Sega's super scalers, even more so than Outrun? Bold statement, I know, but it is, at least to me. See, even that noise is iconic. I like the fact that they're all friends now. How many of those did he shoot? Like, literally genocide of species, but they're all mates. Look. Hello? Alright? Yeah. Right, let's get into it. Love the speech. Right, lives, bottom left. I've always loved the fact that you could run along the floor. Some of the home ports, obviously you go down, awkward, and then it would just immediately fire you back up. And also a lot of the home ports, and if you play it on main, you keep centering, because obviously in the arcade it has an analog stick. Doesn't do that, which is a godsend really. And also I've got them inverted, the controls, which, oh, the noise, which you didn't make because I didn't shoot them when they were closed. That's iconic. And the music. And that. The music seems, well, the music's not a little quiet. It's just the fact that I've got, uber far on. And I love the fact that when you shoot the fauna and shit, not only do you piss off Bill Oddie, one of my life goals, you get mini mushroom clouds. There we go, this is nice. I'm awful with this. Alright, look, hang on. The lives, yeah, bottom left, you can just see the lives, so I can, continuously go through. Because the thing is, lots of versions of this, including the Master System version, which really pissed me off back in the day because it was so hard. They gave you like 3 lives. Seriously? We wanted home port to this because, quite frankly, we had to remortgage our fucking playhouses as children in order to play it. And then when we got home ports, I mean, on the Spectrum, I used pokes. Yeah, when we got home ports, that looks so sore. You said, no, you can only have 3 lives. And for the record, I think, the Master System port is utterly fantastic. Yeah, it's slow and stuff like that, and there's kind of weird effects, borders and stuff going on around characters and shit like that, and you only get 3 lives and it falls horrifically hard. But you've got to remember, right, outside of the 8-bit ports on the Spectrum, Amstrad and Commodore and stuff like that, and don't get me wrong, the Spectrum version is phenomenal. That was as close as we were getting to the arcade. I think it was out before the 16-bit, computer versions in this country, but I could be wrong, so by all means correct me on that. I love that when you blow up the heads from Easter Island. Granted, they're not the heads from Easter Island, but you know what I mean. Oh. See, like most good arcade games, when I say good, in making money, there's a massive element of chance, isn't there? Yes, I know there are people who can do it on a, 1 credit, but quite frankly, they're superheroes. And I doff my cap to thee. But I do remember, before I got a Master System, and I had one of those inserts that came in CVG or something, where, the fold-out... Wait, does that count as... It did. I don't think I killed that boss, yeah. Fold-out sort of, you had a picture of all the systems on one side, then you had a bunch of games listed on the other side. I would just look at the one static screenshot of this game and just think, my God, because you didn't see it moving, and that was before I had a Master System. And to be fair, when you read magazines like CVG and, Mean Machines and shit like that, obviously, you only got static images in that, so you never really got... I mean, you took, like most magazines back then, you took the game reviewers, he literally invested trust in him, but I just looked at it and just remember thinking, my God, this looks so close to the arcade, this looks amazing, I have to have it because I love this machine in the arcades. Don't think I ever saw... Oh, Jesus. Gizmo got pissed off. Someone fed him after midnight. Oh, Shizen. Don't think I... Look at the fungi, it's going mental. I ever saw a stand-up cabinet. This... I am aware I'm talking bollocks. This is my favourite boss in the entire game, and it happens on this, this early in. I just loved it. I would see... That was the screenshot, I think, showing the Master System version of him on the, that pamphlet, flyer. I'm fucking awful. Thank God I'm rich. Oh, bollocks. No. Just in case you wanted to see what your controls look like. That button, right. Well, that just broke, the moment. But yeah, I think this was a screenshot on the Master System, pamphlet. But, I mean, I also, when they mentioned this magazine, magazines, or sorry, you saw Sega adverts, flyers and stuff, like in magazines, you'd have a little screenshot in the bottom left-hand corner. It was always him. It's like they knew that was the most impressive boss in the game. And also, it's featured on the box art, not on the shite Master System box art, but I think it's on the PC Engine. Yeah, you get the twin-headed dragon, but it looks nothing like that. But the box art is phenomenal. I loved it on the Spectrum, and that's something... Do you know what? I made it through this level once without getting twatted once when I had this on the Virtual Console. And I think my brother was sat next to me, right? Because he was over for the day, and he just said, and I was like sweating and stuff, and just in the moment, and just like, he said, oh my God, how did you do that? And I think I just said, I don't know. Only I didn't say it like Abe Simpson. But yeah, the PC Engine version always pissed off, okay? Always pissed off that it never got released on the Mega Drive. That was a thing, wasn't it? Right, so we get on the back of the dragon from Neverending Story. Oh, and by the way, and he's got a bamboo's ass. So it's a bonus stage, and you, to some degree, look at it, it's racking up tree. I don't think of the damage we're doing to the environment. I love it, doing to the environment. Look, here's a tally of how many trees you destroyed. But anyway, yeah, so you're in the fantasy zone, and it's basically the same world. It's a shared universe as, well, fantasy zone shooters, which, to be honest, I was never a massive fan of. Anyway, going back, I'm all over the shop. I am aware of that. That's an iconic noise as well. Not so much that one, but yeah, never got on the Mega Drive. Never got Shinobi on the Mega Drive. Eventually got Outrun, but why did they do that? There kind of been an exclusivity deal because Sega didn't port the game to the PC Engine, someone else did. So I always felt, I mean, I didn't have a Mega Drive when it was out on the no, I did have a Mega Drive when it was out on the PC Engine because I obviously had a Japanese one. But yeah, I always thought, felt jibbed, really jibbed, and that's always to this day pissed me off. We got Space Harrier too, but even though you could argue it's more impressive in what it does than the PC Engine version of Space Harrier, it's still not Space Harrier. And he's in a red jumpsuit. Honestly, it looks like a game show reject. We'll put some money in. But I obviously did get to play it on the PC Engine eventually because my brother had a PC Engine, and happy times. And for years and years and years, that was my favourite port. Oh Jesus, disco time! Sorry, the fancy zone gives me a gacky throat. Yeah, that was my favourite port of Space Harrier. And one of the closest. Obviously I didn't have a Sharp 68000 back in the day, but I got to play that recently thanks to emulation. And that's a fantastic port. And it shares some of the sprites with the PC Engine version because they're both done by Dempa. But I guess, when was the 32X released? Because that would be, because that's prior to the Saturn, that would be, and obviously I didn't have a 32X, but it was one of the games, if it was affordable I would have got, if the system was, not a complete fucking clusterfuck. More so by Sega, not the actual system itself, because it was alright. Yeah, the port of Space Harrier on the 32X was probably the closest it ever got to the arcade at that point. I still don't think it's arcade perfect. I think its frame rate lets it down. Not much, and it's like the 32X port of Afterburner, where, yeah. Wait, can I shoot these rocks? Okay, this changes everything. Wait, what the fuck? And he's not a boss. Told you I'm glad I got loads of money. But yeah, I do remember seeing that in the magazines, and there was one magazine that had a videotape on it. I forget what it was. It wasn't CVG or Mean Machines or something. But seeing that run, as a young adult, I thought, wow, this looks arcade perfect, and I was super jealous. Then obviously it got a port to in the Sega Ages series on the Saturn. I never had a Saturn back in the day. My brother did. I was in Japanese chipped import PlayStation town, and I think he got rid of his Saturn. I was gutted about that because I love the fact that he had a Saturn, because even though mine was chipped, my PlayStation, so basically infinite free games, ouch. I like the fact that I could see how the enemy lived because he had a Saturn, so I could play games like Virtua Fighter 2, and obviously I could play. There you go. That's the noise. Beloved, Sega Rally, and it was awesome. Perfect arrangement. You play my PlayStation, I'll play this. But he got fed up of having to buy games full price, so he sold it. He said he always regretted it, and bought PlayStation and then chipped it. Bought an English one and then chipped it, in which case, obviously it's 60 hertz for all intents and purposes because you play foreign games. Or US games, I should say. Or Japanese games. What the fuzz? But, point being, there was an arcade perfect port, with Outrun and Afterburner. What the hell is that? Really tapped by Marshmallow. That noise is iconic as well. Shoot him in the face. Well, he can't be sentenced, surely. But eventually, obviously, I have a Saturn. I have two, a Model 1 and a Model 2. And I got Sega Ages. And even though we're years later and I could emulate it and stuff like that, through... wow, he's the beast. He's the one who's firing all that shizen at me. Not his tag nuts. Yeah, you know, even though I played it for arcade and stuff like that, and my modded Xbox and things like that, and played it, you know, in Wii. Holy cow! I think I'm gonna throw up. Yeah, through WiiWare and stuff like that. Although, you know, the shop, not WiiWare. Bollocks. To be fair, oh, hang on. Oh, an army of Harriers. I was still super excited and loved the fact that I finally owned it on the Saturn and got to play officially an arcade perfect home port. Because you're playing MAME and shit, but you're not playing an arcade perfect home port, are you? You're playing the arcade. And you could argue, well, what's the difference? It was all about me as a kid wanting to play a port at home, because obviously you didn't have access to MAME then. It was arcade perfect. So that was kind of, you know, a full circle journey that I absolutely loved. What? Okay. It's quantum leaping out. See, here's the thing, right? As much as I've loved this game and played this game, it's been ages, I thought it said stage 10, Ninja, that I've got this far. So generally, each boss is kind of a new thing. Whoa! No, you don't. Yes, you do, apparently. That to me always sounds like a word processor jamming. Obviously, you didn't have the same word processors I had at secondary school. But trust me, it does. Oh! See? You can't hear it because I've gone titch frisky on the auto fire, but all the music in this game is just phenomenal. Phenomenal rules, I should say. You have to, see, if I was just attacking alien fleets, granted there are like prehistoric monsters and shit in there as well, and dragons, I'd be like, look at the sheer numbers of shit we've thrown at this planet and this Harrier bloke, and holy fuck, that's really cool. He's cut through us. Maybe he should have given a call, got a couple of his mates on board. Would have saved the universe for like 13 seconds. There's a little PARMS. So what, 7 more stages? Ooh. And the thing is, on rails, yeah, and you could argue this far into it, and all I'm doing is the exact same thing, even though they're mixing up the bosses, the scenery, lots of the bad guys are being repeated and stuff like that. But and maybe it's because I got Memberberry, you know, retro goggles on. But it still doesn't get old and boring. I still really am enjoying it. I'm sucking at it, and what the... Talking at the same time was never my bag on games that weren't, you know, going into your head this quickly. And I understand how, you know, the hardware works back then. I do like the robots that like Superman out at you, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, scaling that and pseudo 3D by, you know, layering sprites essentially and things like that. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm old, so this still. Oh, that's right. You'd think you'd be immortal, wouldn't you? In fact, it went out easier, one half of them went out easier than the one that was bloody alive. But yeah, this still to me, maybe again this is a testament to me being old, genuinely massively impressive. All the scalers are. Some to more varying degrees than other ones. Most stage. To be fair, mate, if you're this powerful, you and your baboon's ass, why don't you stick around? We can beast these things. Right. See, that is cool as well. And they clearly got the idea for him. Right, where's everything gone? From Neverending Story. Insert Peter Griffin. Yeah! Here. Lucky he wouldn't let me fire, I would have blown him away. Made one hell of an epic rug. Oh! Oh! I'm just going to stay on the ground and hope there aren't any rocks. Or see the fact that the missiles spin. It's weird going this deep into it. Honestly, it just regresses me massively back to being a kid. I understand I'm gushing nostalgia now, but it really does. Few games will go down as well beloved and remembered as this. Seriously, think about it. Think about someone says to you, hydraulic Sega arcade machine, you know, set in space. What are we going to say this? Immediately off the cuff. Absolutely. Plus, I imagine it was a lot easier to come across back in the day than Galaxy Force was. I never saw Galaxy Force on my travels, ever. And it annoyed me because I saw it in all the magazines, and I had it on the Master System, which I know is not really the same thing, and I absolutely wanted to play it. But I knew everyone I knew back in the day at school, those at least who went on. Oh Jesus! Was there even a warning on this cabinet, which is warning may cause epilepsy and stuff? Because there should have been on this bloody mini console. But yeah, everyone I knew who went to seaside towns, either locally, like you ever play Space Harrier? Is that the one with the bloke with the red shirt, the blue pants who flies? Yeah, that's the one. Oh my god, I love it, especially the twin-headed dragon. It's the correct answer for the best boss. Well. This is insane. I always forget how, too much information rushing through my eyes and to the back of my head these stages are. Oh wait. Well, this boss is weird. It reminds me of some, was it? No, it's not the Banana Splits. Some weird kids show where they had like a plush character, alright. Look at this, he's not doing the circular maneuver doesn't work. He's bested my best Harrier abilities. My boots, they are useless. I'm just going to use the invulnerability and stay in the middle of the screen and shoot him, but clearly it didn't work. When there's a boss rush, see how is he? They better not put him in it. He's my least favourite boss. And not just because of how he looks, but because he's balls hard. Hey, until you get rid of all that stuff. Stage 15, Vigor. Vigor the Carpathian. See what I did there? Ooh! Bollocks. I just like to put money in so you get all the little Harriers next to the big Harriers. It's like Harrier's family and his kids. Harrier, Harrier's missus, Harrier's brother, Harrier's other brother, Harrier's sister, Harrier's uncle, and the Ickle Harriers. We're back to the best music in the game, but all the music in the game is amazing, to be fair. My god, I'm so glad this has got a turbo. Can you imagine how wanked my hand would be right now? I'd have a claw hand. I'd have Scary Movie 2 hand going on right now. Yoink! I'm gonna have to look up and see if someone has actually done this on one credit. I'm sure there's some ninja out there. Like in the movie Daryl. Remember that when he fries for 2600? He's done this on a credit. What one is this? That's a bit of a shit boss, I'm not gonna lie. You've just taken the twin-headed skeleton dude and given him one less head. And that noise, the piggy noise. See, here's the thing, I've read different things about it, but I swear it makes no difference. Do you have to shoot them when they're facing you? Otherwise, your, cannon. I don't even know what the front of this gun looks like. Actually, I do from box art. Like, or, or if you shoot them in the ass, does it make no difference? NATURA. Even though it's got nothing to do with nature. Oh! It's moisture evaporators, look. Not the Transformers, the shit and floor in the background. Oh yeah! Oh, Echo Dave. If you could if you could back then look through time and see what I would be doing right now with a mini arcade cabinet sat on my lap, plugged into the TV, letting me play the arcade version of Space Harrier. You would have lost your shit. You absolutely would have. Whoa! And then I told you that, yeah, you just keep banging in, virtual credits. You can see the whole game. I would have said, fuck off! Even Echo Dave had a party man. I don't get time to read those because, to be fair, you can't read them really because you're waiting for shit to find your face. Oh, that's right. It looks like a stingray. Isn't there a sweet spot? Well, you can't stay in a sweet spot because obviously shit's still finding you. I'm just going to do that if I can. So not only have you got him, you've got a massive amount of shit he's firing at you, but you still got to avoid the scenery. Do you know what? Do you think when they made this, because they knew how good looking it was compared to... Because this, and it's better looking than Hang On, but this and Hang On were obviously the best looking games. Nothing touched them, you know, apart from Sega's other stuff for a while. Sega were kings back then. Do you think the blokes who made this went, my God, this is going to literally suck the money out of children's parents' pockets? Let's be real on that. Unless, of course, you were, you know, a young adult in 1985. In which case, this would also have been something else. Ooh. Also, when it writes that shit on the screen that I can't read, it's massively intrusive. Alright. I think I saw a really spoiled kid playing at Westwood O, and he didn't realise that no one really cared. There were a couple of people in the background watching it because no one actually saw the later levels. But he must have been like 9 or something, and he must have been the most spoiled motherfucker ever, because he just kept putting money in until he beat it, but every time he beat a stage he would turn around and say to the non-crowd, yeah! To be fair, we were kind of enjoying it because we got to see shit that we would never normally get to see. To be fair, mostly because this kid was loaded. Unless he robbed his parents. You know, shit like that had happened. Godani. ABSYMBEL? Alright, it's a boss. Is this the boss rush? I'm assuming that they're no more difficult. It's just, you know, they're in order. Oh, he was toast. Yeah, Barbarian. At least he gets us the names. It's this fucker. I didn't want this fucker. Although, to be fair, I seem to have properly aced him this time. Get up! Yeah. Squiller? First boss. Play the match sequence then. Well, yeah, obviously I should have realised that from the twin-headed dude, shouldn't I? Right. Even the boss rush music is amazing. So I think they are invulnerable then from... No, they're not invulnerable from behind, because look. Put some moisture on it, Nick, you'll be alright. Dove's on offer at Tesco's. It's only very satisfying though when you get in real quick like that. Now you just take a whole bunch of them out. Okay, so I would have put the twin-headed one with skin on, that's like real quick, as the final boss in the boss rush. It's just because he is clearly, not just because of the box art, but the advert, you know, the screenshot of him that Sega used to promote the game, and in all the magazines, the most iconic Space Harrier boss. Why is he not the final boss? It's a minor point, I am aware. I am not even going to attempt to pronounce that one. Oh, it's that wanker. What exactly is it? Are they firing at me? Are they fireballs or are they flaming boulders? See, I meant to get a shot that time so I could check it out. And if you have to be in a certain range, like if he's all the way back there and I'm aiming at him, and obviously, you know, clearly on the line to hit him, are you actually hitting him, Bowder? Let that happen, I need to scratch my head. All this dragon slaying, it's really affecting my eczema. Ooh! It's a testament to how good this joystick is that it's still so responsive. And just as well, because they still haven't found my fucking pad, have they? What is it with me and Amazon? Oh! There we go. See, definitely vulnerable from behind. Congratulations, you win. You're right. What, do I own the dragon now? I'm assuming he's your eye. I've won a dragon with the baboon's ass. Something to talk about at the pub, innit? There you go. arcade machine ends back their mind. I mean, this was standard. There you go, every single level of Space Harrier with me waffling a massive amount of bollocks running on my Astro City Arcade Mini. Hopefully you got some semblance of what this arcade game meant to me back in the day and what it means to me still to play it now. And thank you very much for watching. I sincerely doubt anyone made it to the end. And I'd love to know what you think of Space Harrier and your favourite home port. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.